but they're African by choice. In other words, we are American by habit. Sing American tone, we might have a name like Rivers or Remy, Jimmy, instead of Garcia. You know, we might have that. We just take that and go on, right? Let's give it my mom. We do what other Americans do. That's why when people say, I wonder why black people do this. What's going on here? I mean, if people are in the hospital, you must assume they're ill, you know? I mean, we just keep saying the same thing a lot of times. And I'm asking you, do you choose to be African every day? I mean, without thinking, we talk American. We get mad like American. We impatient like American. Our mind wanders like the American. Rescue me if I'm wrong. But we choose to be an African. Yes. Right. You got to choose to be an African. You're not just African because you say you're African. You're African after you come back. You know, at the end of the day, you take inventory. Measure yourself in the mirror of the best of our culture and ask where you stand. Yes, oh, you get out strong in the morning talking bad. You know what I mean? But what about the compromises you make at work? On the way to work and coming away from work and playing. I say choose to be African. Come on. We are chosen to bring good into the world. But even as we're chosen, we must also choose. We must name ourselves. And that means bringing ourselves into being to become, to move from static existence to active being. With the Creator who before creation was inherent and active, floating inside himself an infinite ocean of unlimited possibility. And then he takes consciousness, builds a mound from inside himself, and raises a universe. That's right. All depends upon us recovering our culture, speaking our own special culture truth to the world, controlling the space we occupy, forging our future in our own image and interests, making our own unique contribution to the forward flow of human history. Ujima, we must build together the world we want and deserve to live in. We must have togetherness in love and struggle and work and service and institution building. We must think good of each other, feel good about each other, speak good of and to each other, and do good for each other and with each other to build the world we all want and deserve to live in. Lady Child says to us, do good. Doing good is not difficult. In fact, just speaking good is a monument for those who do it. For those who do good for others are actually doing it for themselves. For they are building the world they want and deserve to live in. And that means developing an ethics of sharing. We must share all the good we imagine and bring into being. And that ethics of sharing has 7 basic parts to it. Shared status, knowing fear of superior people, everybody bear and of dignity and divinity. Shared knowledge, the right to know, our human right to know. That's where you come in, black teachers. You must tell people they have a right and responsibility to know. Shared space, sharing our community, our nation, and the environment with everybody else, and not letting the oppressor privatize nature itself. We must struggle against that. Shared wealth, shared power, shared interest, and shared responsibility for building the world we want and deserve to live in. Ujamaa, you know that word has its roots in family. So when we talk about Ujamaa, we talk about doing resources, doing economic, as if we were all family. And again, we come to share good of the world. The people have a right to the good of it in the world. That the European has no business doing this rather deceptive and destructive project he called globalization. Spreading his waste and wares around the world and asking us to co-sign it. That's why we must denounce him. We must draw a line, a clear line of demarcation between us and our oppressor. That's right. And we must teach it in our schools, and we must teach it in our houses, and we must speak it in the media. We must draw that line. You must ask yourself again the 3 Kawhi questions every day so you can choose to be African. Who am I? Am I really who I am? And am I all I ought to be? And in this Ujamaa, don't ever forget the poor and the vulnerable. Hosea said, we're given wealth so we can do good with it. And then if you have wealth for God stands satisfied when the poor are cared for. We must not only give food to the poor, we must join them in their struggle to end poverty. We must heal the sick, of course. We must give food to the hungry, water to the thirsty, clothes to the naked, and a boat to those without one. And how is this better practice than in New Orleans and the coast? Near purpose.